Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's do another beginner's guide, this time talking about quests and game modes beyond the main story if you are interested, and maybe an efficient path of progression through them. First thing for all players is to go through the main story, and if that is all you are here for, that is totally cool too, and not very difficult to go through it. I talked about this in my guide to costumes especially, but if you take the slabs that they hand out and then take everybody or your 3 main party members to about 50%, then that should take you all the way through. I want to say don't rush, drink in the experience, enjoy it, but you also kind of want to get through this first girl monster part as quickly as possible. It might be chapter 9, they might have updated it so it's a different chapter. But whenever it is that you clear, it will tell you that the daily summon will be unlocked. And then this is important to do every day because it will give you additional materials like a piece of pearl, piece of a lavender cube, or a piece of a book. If you do 10 of those, 10 days, then you'll be able to get a full one and then use it to upgrade somebody or some weapon. The Zenith Brilliance, the Lavender Cube, is important to upgrade Dark Memory weapons, which when maxed can unlock Dark Memory costumes and fully awaken their stories, which could be a point of interest for new players. So yeah, when you can get Zenith Brilliances, then go for those. But once we clear the story quests, and we want to continue, if we want to go on with the game, then we can do things like hard, or very hard. We will get more gems, and we can use the gems to pull the gacha in order to get more costumes. And then that's what the majority of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about from now is going to be about, is gathering gems to pull the gacha in order to get more costumes. If you don't care about that, then you can actually just stop watching the video here. Alrighty, but we have other types of quests as well. We'll go to subquests. One thing that I would keep an eye on and try to be sure to check every day would be the daily quests and the guerrilla quests. Because depending on the day of the week, different types will rotate in and out. And if you get the first time clear, then you can get gems or other rewards. So yeah, it is important to keep an eye on that. And then, if we use our main 3 characters enough, then we can go through and clear their character quests, get more gems, and then also unlock some kind of bonuses for the characters, in case we wanted to use them later for more difficult content. As for the stories themselves, they're mostly recaps of what happens in the main story, so if you're pressed for time, you don't have to read them. Alrighty. Then, once we beat all of the main story, once we're satisfied there, we can think about leveling characters and costumes outside of our main 3. And then beating hard of the story quests will unlock the Dark Memory weapons. Yeah, there it is. And then when we are leveling the weapons, it will unlock more levels. It might be tempting to go through and sort of unlock all of the weapons in order to unlock more levels for each, for more chances at gems. But with the limited time remaining, under 3 months, and then with the fact that it seems like they're not handing out a bunch of Zenith Brilliance, I think it's more important to level the weapons we want to use, unlock the costumes we want to use, and unlock the stories that we want to read first. They might change their tune, with like a month left of service and hand out a bunch of Zenith Brilliance then, but at the moment there's not a ton of them. And then I wouldn't spend time or energy just endlessly farming these quests for the hopes of getting drops of the Zenith Brilliance. I think there's too much other stuff to do, and I'm still holding out hope that they'll hand out a bunch of these at the end anyway. Okay, next we can look at dungeons. That's under subquests. And there are a variety of these. And then the reason why we play dungeons, other than the gems that we get for the first time clears, is to get memoirs. And then I made a guide video about memoirs as well. But actually, I think you can get through the entire game, to a certain point, just by clearing these first 4 dungeons. Don't have to worry about these bottom 3. But just a super quick reminder, Young Lord Studies, main and sub, HP up. And then, what was it? Blighted Flowers, any combination here to speed up your cooldown. Chance for Conflict, attack for both main and sub in order just to raise your force level, fill those missions. And then any combination where the main is the critical rate up, and then the sub buffs are critical rate up, critical damage up. So yeah, all the memoirs that we really need we can get in the first 4. So if you can't beat these bottom 3 because they're too difficult, I wouldn't worry about it at first. Alright, and then there will be the rotating limited quest. I would try to beat these as much as possible as they come out. There might be like a ceiling that you can't cross because it's too difficult. That's okay at the beginning of the game. But yeah, these EX quests, if we can beat them, just once, then we can start to use skip tickets. And that can really help with our farming, collecting materials, and all that. And then for these EX quests, I recommend using healers, and then burn or poison, that kind of set amount of damage. That can get you clears of content with much higher difficulty force levels than maybe what we got. Okay, and then looking at PvE content that's higher difficulty than that, next we can look at the Abyss Towers, and lots more chances for gems in here, in addition to other rewards. It's kind of hard to see what these are, but books to raise max levels, Zenith Brilliance to upgrade the black dark memory weapons, some pull tickets, stuff to level the skills of weapons or characters, that kind of thing, yeah. There are various missions for each floor, but if you have a one-size-fits-all team, like, again, healers or burn poison, then you can just blaze through the floors without worrying, and then just kind of focus on the big gem rewards that we get every 5 floors, and then come back later for the other missions. And then I made a video about recommended costumes, but I highly recommend getting Anniversary F66X as soon as possible. You can beat all the towers without her, but having her will make it easier and faster. I talked about how she will pay back the investment to get her very quickly. But here, if we go to these triple banners here, story completion, countdown, limited time banners, then we can just pull 5 times and then do the exchange for her. And I recommend everybody do that. Okay, clearing all 5 of the towers will take some time, but once you are satisfied there, then maybe you can start thinking about fate boards. For the same reason, just to get clear gems in order to pull the gacha more. Same idea here. Attack breaks were already useful in tower, but in fate boards they'll be close to necessary, as will Anniversary F66X. Alright, and then once we clear all of that, this might be out of reach for a lot of people, but then finally we can start thinking about the Recollections of Dusk quests. These require a fairly developed account because they limit you by element, so if you don't have enough weapons or costumes of that element, it will be tough or impossible to progress. It didn't used to be like that, but they added the element restriction because the developers were flailing and trying to motivate spending. They failed at that and just made the game mode worse for it, but whatever, we got to play the hand that we are dealt. And then I feel like, with only 3 months left in the game, the reason to play these Recollections of Dusk is mainly to read the stories for the characters we like. The gems that we get for going through here is not that amazing, so I don't think that's a great reason, your primary reason for playing these. But yeah, we can totally see the full story for these characters just by beating normal here. We don't have to touch hard or very hard. And then I made a rough draft video before. I'll make a final draft next week, talking about which of these stories might be worth unlocking so that we can work on our accounts, certain elements, so that we can have an easier time of going through. Alright, and then there are 2 other high-level game modes which are going to be tough to kind of get up to speed in the last 3 months, 2.5 months. One is PvP Arena. For PvP Arena, you could actually aim for top 500 for the season. That will get you these 2 10-shot pull tickets. That's worth going for. And then the other game mode is Subjugations. You could work towards getting and maxing the Blackhorn weapons, but in the time remaining, there might not be enough time to really enjoy the full potential of these weapons. And to be honest, I never use them for PvE, like Fate boards or Tower anyway, so yeah. Okay, but those are my thoughts on the game modes and the different types of quests in Nier Reincarnation, again, aimed at beginners. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.